chat box. That's fantastic. That's how you can communicate with me throughout the course of this session. Can you all hear me and see me okay? Someone give me like a thumbs up or write a yes or a happy face, something. Let me know if you can hear and see me just fine before we get going. Good morning. Good morning. It's nice to see all the names. I know I can't see you, but it's wonderful to see your names and see you all coming in, which is great. You can hear me. You can see me perfect. Thank you, Pauline, for letting me know. Perfect. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, my name is Elisa Setmire, and I am your instructor for the next, 16, 17 weeks or so. I wish that we were meeting in person, but we will do the best that we can with our online format. And again, this is Twitch. Nice coffee. Oh, you want to see my coffee? It's Halloween in a Halloween cup. I am very ready for Halloween. Maybe at some point I can show you, but I have definitely decorated for Halloween already. But as I said, my name is Elisa Setmire, and we'll do this weekly Twitch session. It'll be a way to connect live. Thank you for loving the mug. If you have any questions or comments as we're talking, please put them in the chat. That is the best way. I'm monitoring it on my phone and on my screen, so if you put a question or comment on there, I will try to get to it. So that is the best way to communicate with me throughout this. Make sure as well that at some point you put your first and last name in the chat so I can record your attendance. The other thing to mention, and please do not ever pay for this. This is something that I'm only suggesting to you because it's free. If you haven't already subscribed to my Twitch channel, make sure that you do that. And you're welcome to take a moment to do that now or later. If you look in the chat box, you can tell who is subscribed. If you have it almost looks like a hamburger, but it's a football cake or a crown next to your name. It makes my life so much easier. I can just download a list of people who are subscribed, who participated and showed up for the stream. You'll only have the one ad at the beginning, and then you won't experience any other ones. And I just think it makes it easier. But please don't ever pay for this. It's something that's free. I gave you lots of instructions on it. I just think it makes for a smoother experience. And I can't stand ads, so I always like to pass on that free information to you. Otherwise, what we'll do today, today will probably be a little bit longer than usual. I want to go over our Canvas website, go over the syllabus just a little bit. I'll see if there are any questions. I'll give you some of the reminders for this week, and then I will give you a Twitch extra credit question for being on here with me live, then show you how you can answer that. And again, if at any point you have questions, please feel free to go ahead and put them in the chat. But let's go over to Canvas together. And if you can get to this page, then you should be in wonderful shape. Everything is linked off of our Canvas site. So as long as you can make it here, and quite a few of you have already, you should be in wonderful shape. But this is our Canvas homepage right here. And you'll notice that if you scroll down, there's a couple of modules right here. And then everything is just organized by week. I've been teaching online now for 12 years. I'm very organized, and I think that is a huge skill to have when you're teaching online. So hopefully you find the class to be clear and organized. I feel like I've definitely put a lot of time into it, especially this class, since I've only ever taught it in person up until about a year ago. But the couple of things here, so the mandatory orientation, there's some help and campus resources, some course documents and videos, and then everything after that is just week by week by week. So what I'd like to do is take a few minutes just to kind of go through this site with you to make sure that it's all comfortable and familiar, so you know where to find everything. If you click on modules, you'll notice right off the bat I have the syllabus for you, and this is definitely something that you're going to want to look over. The syllabus will spell out all of the assignments and rules and timing, how to get a hold of me, all the policies and things. So make sure that you do read over the syllabus. And then I have some information about the textbook and ordering that and where you can find it. Any version of the textbook is fine. It can be an ebook, it can be a hard copy, it can be new, it can be used, you can rent it, whatever is easiest and cheapest for you. But you are going to want to get a textbook so that you can be reading and following along. I have some information here that we'll talk about later in the semester with a movie assignment that we will do, some handouts and study guides, but this is where you can find all the kind of main course documents. And then I have a section on help and campus resources. I have some frequently asked questions, how to set your Canvas notifications. If you're not getting my announcements that I send out constantly, make sure that you've set your notifications so that you either get texted or emailed anytime I do post something. Here are the instructions for how to find me on Twitch and YouTube. If you're watching this, you've already done that, so that's fantastic. Some help with technology, how to find your grades and feedback, some college services, psych major information, just a bunch of campus resources right here. And then the biggest thing, and this is something that you're in charge of doing right off the bat, a mandatory orientation lecture and quiz. So if you click on this mandatory orientation lecture, you'll notice that it has kind of this 5-page format at the top. It's weird that that's not loading. I'll take a look at that later. Everybody's online, right? Again, so the internet has been kind of glitchy the last 2 days. I'm sure I'm not the only one experiencing that. But you'll notice at the top of every lecture there are 5 pages. So make sure that you are reading each one of those. I've organized it that way so it's not just one long document. But for this orientation lecture that you're reading, I'm giving you kind of an overview of the course. And you can read through it or you can listen to me reading it to you. But these are things that you definitely want to complete right away. Read and listen to these pages, read through the syllabus, complete the mandatory orientation quiz. I will show you where you can find that in a little bit. Subscribe to my channel on YouTube and Twitch, which again I give you instructions for. And then the way that the course is organized, right, is that we will be basically every week, you'll be in charge of reading the textbook, typically 1 chapter, maybe 2 at the most. I think there's 1 week where you have 2 chapters. Every other week is just 1. You'll read the course textbook, and then you'll review the PowerPoint slides and watch the lecture video that I made for you for the week. And I'll show you all that in a couple of minutes. You'll participate in the weekly discussion topic on Canvas. And then every few weeks, every like 6 weeks or so, you'll take an exam. And then there will be a diagnosis paper. So those are kind of the big elements for the class. Mainly every week you're reading a chapter in the book, watching a lecture video or any other videos and materials I post for you, and reviewing the slides that go with it, participating in that 1 weekly discussion, and then there's a few things that will come up for you, like the exams and the paper every few weeks. I have a little bit more information about myself on here. If you can't already, if you haven't already figured out, I'm a huge fan of the holidays, right? A pumpkin cup in August, right? We decorated August 1st, right? So just to give you some perspective, our family is very pro Halloween. But I'm a huge football fan. Tom Brady is my guy. He's been my guy for like 20 years. So I was a huge Pats fan, but now I'm a huge Bucks fan. I don't know. I had to shift. But I have a lot of shows that I love. I put those on here. I'm obsessed with escape rooms. I don't know if anyone done an escape room, done quite a few escape rooms. You could put it in the chat if you have. I have done 89 escape rooms. And you heard me right, 89. I love escape rooms. They're probably my favorite thing to do in my free time. I play the guitar. I love to camp. I love sports. Love the holidays. Just a little bit about me, and just in case you wanted to know more about the person who is teaching this class and that you're staring at every week. I have 4 cats. They will often make their way into our 89 different ones, yes. They will often make their way into our sessions. My cat Rolly often comes and sits like right here. So I'm sure you will have a cat sighting at some point. And I also have 2 dogs, which sometimes will bark. So forgive me for that, but hopefully it makes it cute and entertaining. If you have some computer and internet questions, I have some requirements and settings on here that might be helpful. Disabling your pop-up blockers and a couple of things like that can be helpful for making everything run smoother. And if you still need help, I have some phone numbers right here that can also be helpful, right? You can look at the distance education website, Canvas support. You can, of course, email me. So lots of different things on here. Make sure you read through all of that in addition to the syllabus. And I'll figure out that image here. For some reason, it's not loading, and I'll fix that later. As a side note, if you ever see something that is like a broken link or isn't working, let me know and I will update it. I add so many links and videos that sometimes they get removed. So let me know and I will be happy to take a look at it. Once you have finished that mandatory orientation lecture, you will take a little quiz, and these are your first 10 points of the semester. Basically, once you have reviewed the syllabus and that orientation lecture, I'm going to ask you some questions about them, and this is just my way of making sure that you've gotten started, that you're in the class, that you know the different rules and policies. So it's worth 10 points, and it's due before this Sunday night. The entire class is organized around weeks, right? So you basically have from Monday morning at 12:01 a.m. to Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. to complete all your materials. And you can do them all in one day. You can spread them out. You can do them early. You can do them late, whatever works for you. But everything is due by Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. So I'm very strict about those deadlines. So please make sure you plan ahead, budget your time wisely. You should have plenty of time to do the things. I'm not asking that much of you, I don't think, over the course of a week. But when you're ready, you will take this little quiz. It's all stuff related to the lecture and the syllabus. And this is really important to do before Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. so that I know that you are set and ready to go. A few other things, as I said, if you're on this main page, you can access the orientation materials here, those help and campus resources, course documents, and videos. And then once we get going, like this week we are on week 1, you would click on week number 1, and it will take you to everything that is due this week. So it will only bring up what is available for you to complete. And so for week number 1, for example, you are in charge of reading chapter 1 in the textbook, looking at the PowerPoint slides for chapter 1, and then watching the lecture video that I've created for you for chapter 1 as well. So what I did for each chapter, and I'm doing this as we go along, is I have lectured to the slides like I would in person. I used to do this live on Twitch, but the disadvantage was that I couldn't have any captions. So the videos are captioned. They're either on Zoom or YouTube, depending on the platform. So here, for example, for chapter 1, when you are ready, yes, I'd like to continue. Okay. This was acting up yesterday. I think a lot of people are on technology for the first time in a little while. But when you're ready, what you'll do, let me mute this, is you'll watch these videos. It's me lecturing on the slides, so it might not be a bad idea to take notes. There are captions for them as well, just in case you are needing the captions. But I go through, and there's a lot of video clips in here, trying to make them as engaging as possible, as if we were meeting in person. So make sure you're watching the lecture videos. They're going to give you a lot of information that will be on the exams, in addition to reading through the chapters in the textbook. And then I gave you the slides just in case you wanted them. Some people like to print them and take notes on the side. Totally up to you. But that's the general weekly format that will follow. You'll read the chapter, watch the lecture video, and go through the slides. And then you'll also complete a discussion. And so I'd like to show you what the discussions look like. So here's discussion number 1. And I made a video for each one, and I'm very tech savvy, and I like to make a lot of videos. So please watch these. What I tried to do in each one is go through the prompt, give you some examples, some highlights. And so I think these are helpful. They're only about a minute or 2 long for each one. But what you'll do is you'll read through and complete the following items. You're going to look at some scenarios right here and decide whether somebody has a disorder or not. And it's completely your opinion, but you'll reflect on, does the person have a disorder or not? Don't worry about which one. And then explain why or why not. And then number 3, what stereotypes or associations do you have when you think about therapy, therapists, people who go to therapy, and so on. So these are the kind of prompts that you're going to be answering. And again, I have a video for a little more information for you. Once you are ready to do this on the discussions, you'll hit reply right here, and you can see a couple of people have already gotten going on this, which is fantastic. But when you're ready, you will click reply, and then you can type your answer right here in the box, and then you'll hit post reply when you're done. So as soon as you want to reply to my prompt, and you might consider writing this out somewhere in like a document and saving it just in case something goes wrong, you'll hit that reply button, type it all out, and post. You also have to reply to one of your peers. So this is worth 15 points in total, and the peer response is only worth 2 points, but those points add up, so make sure you do it. When you're ready to do that, you can find someone that you're interested in replying to and then hit reply underneath. You can see that again here. And the discussions, you'll do one every single week, and these are little activities or questions we would have done in class that have been adapted to be online for you. Other than that, there will be an extra credit prompt every week. We will have a paper later in the semester. You'll be writing a diagnosis paper about a TV or movie character. So you could start thinking about a character from a TV show or a movie that you might like to spend some time diagnosing and writing about. It can be anyone, real or made up. I've even had people do video game characters if that interests you. But you'll be writing a paper about that, and we'll talk more about it when we get closer in a couple of weeks. I know I'm talking a lot today. Are there any questions so far? Let me put that in the chat here. Any questions about anything at the moment before I keep going? I'll wait just a minute. You're usually about maybe 20 seconds or so behind me, so let me just make sure. And again, if you have questions, feel free to put them here in the chat, and I will answer them. I miss being able to see all of you. It's so strange. We do have some classes in person this semester, but they're so small. One of my colleagues is teaching research methods, and I think she had 6 students yesterday. It was so strange to see. So we're getting there, but again, hopefully we'll make the best of our online time together. All right, I don't see anything at the moment, but if you think of anything, put it in the chat. Again, I'm here. I want to point out the syllabus, as I mentioned to you. I would definitely take a little bit of time to go through this. It's right here. If you click on syllabus, make it bigger. Yes. Oh, okay, a question. I have a quick question about the orientation quiz. It says we can only access it on the ebook website. Yes, it should be on Canvas. And you know what? I saw that when I was scrolling through. As I mentioned, Canvas has been really glitchy the last couple of days. And so I don't know if you saw that, but on the first page of this lecture, it was like everything was frozen and strange. Like the image isn't there, and there's a few things that are wrong. So it shouldn't say ebook site. It's just here right on Canvas. So I'm going to double check this lecture. It looks like something is like glitchy on just the first page. The other ones looked fine. But thank you for pointing that out. I just saw that as well. It's just right here under quizzes. So all of your exams and quizzes will be right here on this page. There is no ebook site for this class. It's for my intro psych class. So you can take it right here. You can see that right here. So thank you for letting me know. I happen to purchase my ebook off of Chegg, so I don't have an access code. Will that be okay for the future? Yeah, so we're not using the textbook for anything other than reading. So as long as you're able to access and read whatever book you purchase, that's perfect. You won't be taking quizzes or activities or anything outside of this Canvas page. So as long as you have that ability, you should be in great shape. And I'm sorry for that confusion. Canvas has been acting up a lot yesterday and today. I don't think it's used to all the people being online. So I'm sorry about that, and we'll be patient with Canvas. I'm not very patient with technology. I start clicking at it over and over again. But we'll try our best to be patient. Yes, so the syllabus. So if you click on modules, right here on the left, it's the first thing right here at the top where it says Psych MO8 syllabus. And let's open that up and look at it just for a moment here. I'm not going to go through this because it would take us a while, but please make sure you do read through it. I have my email on here. I will be at the campus and in my office periodically. I'm teaching from home today, but I will oftentimes be on campus. So if you'd like to make an appointment to ever meet with me in person, I will be there. I'm also here. This is almost like an office hour in a sense on Twitch. But if you'd like to ever meet with me in person, please email me. You can call my office if you'd like, but I'm not there as often as if you email me. Email is always the best way to get a hold of me. I check it constantly. There's some information here about the department chair and the dean, some course objectives and outcomes. Here's where you can find the textbook information. So I am using a textbook for this class. It kind of drives the lectures and the material. You definitely should be reading it, even if it is an ebook or if it's rented. Any of that is totally fine. You won't need 3 Scantrons. I didn't remove that because I thought we were going to be in person. So you don't need 3 Scantrons or a pencil for this, but you will want the Canvas app on your phone. It might be nice to have the Twitch app as well, since I will be on here every week. I have some things for the computer stuff. If you find that your computer isn't keeping up, the biggest thing is to have a good internet connection, since we will be meeting online and you'll be doing everything online. I have some policies and codes of conduct. I really want us to have a wonderful, inclusive learning environment. I don't get to see you, but I really hope that you ask questions and you comment in the chat so that we can have some dialogue. Please always be respectful of each other. Be really mindful of the deadlines. I'm very strict about weekly deadlines, so please make sure that you're getting everything in before Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. If something comes up, I know the world is very uncertain and there's a lot of things happening. If something comes up and you have an emergency, you must contact me before the weekly deadline for me to consider an extension. So if you reach out to me Monday morning after the deadline has passed, I'm going to tell you I'm really sorry, but it's too late. If you reach out to me Friday, Saturday, you reach out to me sometime before Sunday night, I will often be willing to work with you. So just please make sure that you're keeping that in mind as we go through. If something comes up or you get sick or there's an emergency, please communicate with me and make sure you do it before the deadline. Don't copy or cheat. There's the information here about Title IX and sexual misconduct. You don't need to worry about smoking because we're not on campus. And then here are the assignments that we'll do. We'll do the 10-point orientation quiz, right, that you'll be doing, that I pointed out to you. The diagnosis paper, which will be broken up into 3 parts, but you will write that paper diagnosing a movie or TV character. There'll be a discussion every single week that you will complete. It'll be worth up to 15 points. This is a big part of your grade, so make sure that you put a lot of time and effort into these. And then you will have 3 exams that you will take online. And we'll talk a lot about the exams. I will give you a study guide every single time. I will go over with you what is on them. I want you to succeed. I will never trick you, but you will need to study. So we'll talk more about those when we get a little bit closer, but you will take them just on Canvas, and I'll show you those when we get there. Here are the point distributions for your grade. If you're with Access, please make sure you get me your confidential memo so I can get you all set up with whatever accommodations you need. Here's some information about tech support, some college deadlines and important information. And then the last thing on here, you can see our schedule. So as I mentioned earlier, we'll go week by week, and you can see our first exam will be on week 5. So we'll go 5 weeks exam, 5 weeks exam, and then about 6 weeks and an exam for the end here, 6 or 7. So you can see what is due every week. It's kind of a nice little snapshot of what we have going on. And then a reminder that our course weeks go Monday to Sunday, and just a little statement. Again, everything is so different right now because of COVID, but let's try and make the best of it. Be here as much as you can. I know this class isn't a specific day and time, so if you can make these sessions live, that's fantastic. If you can't, they will be recorded and you can watch them later on Twitch. What I will try and do, and it takes a couple of hours to download, so be patient with me. But what I'll do is when we're done today, I will post the recording right here under week number 1. And I try and put that onto YouTube so that you can watch it from anywhere. It makes it a little bit easier. So I'll post that recording later today once it has downloaded. Again, it takes a couple of hours, and I do have another class right after this one, but I promise to get that up there for you a little bit later today. I think those are the big things that I wanted to go over with you. I have one more thing with the extra credit, but big things. Remember that everything is organized Monday to Sunday. Don't miss the deadlines. If something comes up or you have an emergency, make sure you reach out to me before the week is over. Try and plan ahead. Don't wait till the last minute. The fall, we always get fires and wind and power outages and who knows what else with COVID. So please try and do things early in the week whenever you can, just so that you're not waiting to the last minute. Inevitably, when you wait till Sunday, it's like everything goes wrong. So try and see if you can do things a little earlier in the week whenever possible. All right, are there any other questions before I give you the Twitch extra credit question and show you how to answer that? Big things that, make sure that you start on the week number 1 materials, get going on those. If you haven't already found and subscribed for free, please, again, don't pay for that ever. Make sure you try and do that just so I can track you much easier and you don't have to worry about that. Are there any characters for the paper that are off limits or you don't recommend doing? No, I would say anyone, if you're interested in someone, go for it. I love it. I think that would be great. I even gave you a list of some of the popular movies. If you want to double check your character with me, you could always send me an email and say, I'm thinking of doing this person. Is that fine? You're going to be arguing that they have a specific disorder, or you could even argue that they don't have a disorder. So it doesn't have to be anyone in particular. It can be anyone you're interested in. One of my favorite papers that I ever read, a student argued that Harry Potter had schizophrenia, that he was abused and lived in the cabinet under the stairs, right? And he developed these delusions of grandeur that he was this famous wizard because he was so abused by his aunt and uncle. It was a really creative paper, but I've had people do Disney characters, do people from documentaries or TV shows. Really, anyone that you're interested in is completely fine. And in a week or two, I'll talk about the paper and that first part where you're selecting your character. But for now, just start thinking about it if there's a show or a movie character that you might want to spend some more time with. Okay. Anything else for the moment? Again, I know this is strange and it's not a normal first week of the semester, but I'm still grateful that you're all here. I look forward to our time together. Let me give you the Twitch extra credit question for this week. So what I will do every week is give you a question that is something in the lecture typically. So you might not be able to answer this until you have completed the lecture video and the materials for the week. But the Twitch extra credit question for this week will be, what are the 5 Ds of abnormality? And I just want you to list them. You don't have to describe them. And I put it in the chat right here. What are the 5 Ds of abnormality? And you can find this in the lecture and also the PowerPoint slides. 5 Ds of abnormality. And when you're ready to answer that, you will go to Canvas. And you'll notice under week number 1 right here, it says Twitch extra credit number 1. And you'll see this under every single week. There'll be a Twitch extra credit. So for this week, you'll click on Twitch extra credit number 1. And up here at the top, there'll be a button that says Start Assignment. And here's some instructions, again, reminding you how to subscribe if you haven't done that, or what you need to do to get these points. But you'll click Start Assignment at the top. And it'll bring up a text box for you that you can type into. So you'll type your response here. Okay. And as soon as you're done, you'll hit Submit Assignment. Look, I'm getting all these reminders. Submit Assignment. And it gives you confetti, which is so exciting. It's the little things in life, right? The confetti, it excites me for whatever reason. And this is due by Sunday night at 11:59 p.m., just like everything else. So all materials have the same deadline of Sunday night. And this is worth 2 points, and that might not sound like a lot, but if you did this every single week, that's like, I think 34 points that you can earn in extra credit. And that's just points that you don't have to stress about the exam. They'll just get added on top of your grade. Maybe you have a bad test score, it would help make up for that, or you miss a discussion because you have a hectic week. So I would definitely recommend doing these whenever you can. Thank you for those of you who are here with me live, or if you're watching this later, that's fine too. I completely understand that schedules are all over the place. I think at some point, there's a high likelihood that at some point one of my kids will be quarantined and we might have to change schedules. So you never know what's going to happen. It's such an unpredictable year. Is there a way to link my Twitch account with an Amazon Prime that has a different email? You know, I'm not sure. Once you link them, you can't go back and do it again. So I'm not positive. And again, if you can't subscribe, it's not the end of the world. It's not required. It just makes your life easier. In the sense that you don't have the ads, and I think it's just a smoother experience. And it helps me that I can download your name without having to search for it. But if you can't, it's completely fine. Just make sure you at least followed me so you can access my page easily, and that would be fine as well. Okay. So what I will typically do is I'll hang out for a little bit once we're done to see if there are any questions. This is a great opportunity. If you have class questions, you can ask me in the chat. Again, if you ever are confused or overwhelmed, email me. I'm here for you. I want you to succeed. So please reach out to me if you're struggling. If you ever want to meet with me in person, I am on campus a few days a week. So please feel free to ask for that too. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful fall semester. We will meet at... It says you start at 9:30. We are meeting at 8:30. So I'm assuming you might be in my human sexuality class that meets at 9:30. So this is for my abnormal psych class. And thank you. It looks like a Nerd Dog 66. I love the names. You said you can link it with a different email. So thank you. Thank you for letting that other person know. Okay. So what I will do, I'm gonna minimize my video, but I will hang out for a little bit if you have any questions. If not, you are welcome to get going on the week. Good luck with your other classes, and I will see you all next Tuesday morning at 8:30 for our week number 2 stream. So thank you again for those of you who are here. There were about 30 of you, which is wonderful. Get going on the week and email me if you have any questions. So I'm going to minimize my video, but I'm still here. Thank you as well. Have a wonderful week. This is my abnormal psychology class. So if you, I have another class at 9:30, so that might be the one. If you might be a little bit early for that one. Yeah, this is Psych MO8, abnormal psych. Always pay attention to the stream titles, right? Like it'll tell you which one this is when you log into Twitch. But thank you all again. Thank you. Have a wonderful week, and email me or ask me now if you have any questions. I'm always here.